to today's vlog. We're going to jump ourselves back, with the aid of a little magic, back to a bygone era at the time of our parents and our grandparents. So we'll start off in this air raid shelter, survive the blitz, and then carry on. Catch you in a minute, guys. So we arrive back in a possibly turn of the century, maybe even Victorian era grocery convenience store. You're all your old sweetie and biscuit tins. Some have stood the test of time. Cadbury's still going strong. Roses, Fries. Some of your biscuits, golden syrup. Obviously some of the jars and the tins would have changed over the period of time, and some of these would have been lead, which would have been lethal. Ovaltine. Dearly departed Queen Elizabeth there. That old Quality Street box. Not a tin then. And then you have your pipes, your tobacco. Looks like matches in there. And this is the way they used to do things. None of this electronic scales. All used with these. Now inside the old chemist, some old sponges up the top there. They of course are natural sponges dug up from the sea. More synthetic nowadays, should we say. What on earth is that? A blood circulator? And I dare say that is a douche. And that's how he would have got the weight of your child or your baby back in the day. Would not even begin to guess what some of those things are. Obviously I can see syringes there, but maybe they would have been, I don't know, maybe plaster, different powders, etc. Rachel has chosen to frequent the bar. So what are we having to drink then, Rach?
Oh, I don't think I want any of these. I don't seem to have any Malibu.
Yeah, have they got a Malibu?
No.
No, this is period, so it looks like a load of your old ales, which obviously made you come back over the years. That black label up there, that's, I don't know, I thought that was like an 80s beer or lager. Everything was beer or bitter back in the day, then it was in your, I guess your 70s, 80s that lager became prominent with a huge advertising campaign. I don't know why, but I always wanted one of those bottles with your soda in it. Probably pretty much to squirt people with. And I think I've turned around and told the tale before about these sort of tankards. I can't see any of them now, but if they had a glass bottom to them, what people wanted is to have a glass bottom when they were given a beer in this, because back in the day it was called the King Shilling. People would take a drink, down the drink without having a glass bottom, find a King Shilling in it, and without them knowing they've just been enlisted to the army. Rach says this is my favourite one, the psychopath shop.
Yeah.
Because apart from all the bits and pieces, the offal, the pies, ribs, chops, etc., little trotters, it's the tools that they use. Just look at these hanging up here. Hitchcock will be proud. I suppose these are your sausage, your tripe, etc. Never tried it, don't want to be honest with you. I mean, what on earth would you even use that for? I guess it's some sort of baster. They're butter paddles. Looks like executioner's axe. Look at all these little signs. Spam, Frey Bentos pies, Shipmans. I remember Shipmans. Never liked any of it, but there was always one or two laying around in the house. My sister liked it. The pig's head. Bacon. These are old-fashioned sausage and bacon slices.
Pig's trotters, look at that, it's piggy's feet.
A very old 1906 Richard Hornsby 9 horsepower oil engine. Sort of time period just after steam. You can see the old oil there sitting in the filters. These all work. There's no one here at the moment to crank them up and get them going. It just pumps round. And obviously you would fit something to this to get that to work. Kind of like a generator. The old-fashioned fuses, lamps, bulbs, etc. And some more over there. Back in the day you used to get a lot of blackouts when these used to short. The old hardware, Arkwright type store. Got the classic old smell in here as well. They're your gin traps. Your rat would come along, bit of cheese or something on there, and these rather ghastly things would clamp down on it, and that would be the end of him. So a lot of your blacksmith type stuff. Sort of place I would dream to work in years and years ago. There you go, fork handles, not handles for forks. Your old knife grinder's barrel used to come round, ring a bell. And behind there, the torturer's room, aka the dreaded dentist. I understand the fear that a lot of these people go through. I predominantly don't go, just don't like it. As much as anything else nowadays, it's the price. But yep, you can keep them. I don't fancy that one bit. I miss our old cinema, the old Bletchley one. See some really old classic films there. Period clothing, certainly not my sort of thing, but certainly my granddad's. His old Trilby hat, which I still have at home. Your old post office, which doubles as a candy store. And we will get ourselves a couple of quarters of sweets while we're here. Ladies' finery, from corsets, opera length long gloves, your silks, your nylons, course a tree. The old spinning wheel at the top there. Sort of thing your gran would have worn.
And a bag of rhubarb and custard.
So all separate.
All separate, please, would
Rachel's
be
ordering
lovely.
the sweeties. They come in 4 ounces,
They've had a
or
lot of
known as a
pictures
quarter.
Yeah,
So this is an easy one now.
absolutely.
Pound
I
a
thought
bag.
I'd make it easy for you.
Oh well, it's all right.
Lovely jelly
There's a very old safe there.
We're going to have it.
Some imperial measuring weights. So this would be where you would get your stamps, your telegrams.
See how that goes.
A very old telephone in there, and they actually work. And they have a very old
Somebody
safe.
told me I
Not a
should
safe,
be
a
doing it
till,
like
should I
that. So I
say.
thought, oh yeah, I'll go then.
Okay, yeah, that's.
As long as the bag doesn't spill.
The seed twist as well,
Yeah,
yeah.
don't do
Talking
aniseed.
about
I
aniseed
like it.
and licorice taste.
No.
Quite the quiet taste, isn't it,
It
aniseed?
is an acquired taste. Another one if you got?
Rhubarb and custard, please.
Well, with custard.
Rhubarb and custard.
Oh,
A
no,
round
I've
one,
got two,
so
yeah.
hard or soft. They always smell nice, isn't it?
I do like rhubarb and custard.
Yeah.
Your classic old cobbled street. See many gardens back in the days with these old rollers. Instead of cutting the grass, you'd actually flatten it. And then of course you have a very, very old mangle. And of course by the side of the cinema equipment, the old saying, talk to the organ grinder, not the monkey, because back in the day this would have been done sort of fed by ticket, but back in the day pre that you would have had a monkey on top, probably with a set of tambourines. Not a fake one, an actual monkey. Very old pantry area here, and this is like a range. Oh, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. People turn around and talk about Argos, etc. But this thing, I've actually seen it work. They've cooked pastries and pies in here in the past. And this room here, as I said, I've done it before, very reminiscent of an era of Jack the Ripper. Because I've been to the Ripper Museum and the beds are laid out exactly the same as that. Although of course they're covered in blood and people's organs, etc. That at the end there must be for maybe permed hair, but it looks like a tuning fork. Maybe they heat them up. Might be something they put in the stove, heat it up and use the straighteners. This is what many of your pantry or kitchen floors would have looked like back in the day. And he said, this is your old stove. Your wood in there. Like some of the Explorers I've done before with a bread oven. This comes possibly around the same sort of period of time. Meats, potatoes. I've always liked the farmhouses with these style of plates. We have one of them left over from my grandparents. We kept a small little plate that my nan had that was like that. The simpleness of a family table with a loaf of bread on it. Those days were probably hard Whether we'll ever face them again, I don't know, with the current climate. You imagine it if vloggers had to go around carrying things like that on their shoulders. Some of your earlier cameras. I like that one. The projectors. Strange to think this is how everything was done pre-digital, and the tape reel would have gone in there, and they are highly flammable. You open up one of them nowadays, the air gets to it and it just ignites itself. Or the pre-digital era. Some of your classic movies. My favourite of all time, Jaws, is not up there. Total legend there, Hitchcock. The old Queensway Bletchley Cinema. Queued round the block for Grease in '78 for that. Who Dares Wins, I can't remember what year that was. And the likes of your Saturday matinee, me and a load of lads from school will go down, watch Ghostbusters, Clash of the Titans, some of the early, well, repeated Bond movies, because they would have come out a lot earlier. And then there's some other ones that no longer exist. Sad, really. Great entertainment. Our final walk through a farming area. Never heard of Fordson. Perkins engine. I wonder with some of the explores that I've done with abandoned old farmhouses, that some of the equipment that we've seen lost in the sheds could be represented here, so give me a closer idea of what they are. Obviously, yes, I know that's a cow. Some old presses, milling equipment, feeders, more following the red brick road as opposed to the yellow brick road. These are prominent all around Milton Keynes. The Western Front guys, remember that at Rest Park we done recently? Fabulous day out that was. Some of the old trench warfare. So it's obviously an exhibit that they've added. Well, it's time to travel back to our time frame, so no better way to come back than the TARDIS or an old police box. Good morning, could you take us back to 2023 please? Thank you. Wow, what a strange place to come back out to. But this for us is home. This is Milton Keynes, and these are your original concrete cows. Here for, well, not here, but they were put in 40 years ago plus, and this is their forever home of the originals. Their replacements, their replicas, can be found near Stacey Bushes, but these are your originals. Anyway guys, hope you've enjoyed it. Just been a little bit of fun going back in time, seeing how some of probably your ancestors, our ancestors, would have lived. Technology was not so prominent back in the day. And with that, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will see you in the movies. Bye for now.
Bye.